actually released a couple videos already about this. I'm far more excited about it than I anticipated being, and that is the trigger from SSVI. But what I'm really surprised about, as I've mentioned to you in a couple videos, is how good and how excited I am about this trigger from SSVI. It is more than just a shoe, though I think you can purchase a shoe from them, especially for your smaller guns like your Glock 43s. It is a whole trigger drop-in assembly. So if you don't know, which I'm sure you do, it means you would take out this part, this whole trigger bar with the polymer shoe from Glock out of your gun, and you would drop in, reattaching the springs, reinserting the pins. It's not a complex procedure. Drop this in, and this trigger, I'll be looking for the review on the arms guide for it, but this trigger is remarkable. It has a real clean take up, a nice glass rod type break, a good positive reset, and it's just remarkable. It does have a little bend in the bottom. I'm a fan of flat face triggers, but for all intents and purposes, I think that this functions very much like a flat trigger does. It's going to bring there's just a lot of surface area for your finger to get the proper location and break. Whereas for example, like an M&P trigger or even your stock trigger gives you less options. There's more room for error when it comes to finger placement. This trigger, like other triggers on the market, gives you, in the form factor alone, more options, more real estate for correct trigger finger placement. But then beyond that, it just has a good take up. You know, you're gonna have that take up still. This is intended to be used kind of dual purpose, whether you're talking competition or carry. You come in, you got that take up, but then you've got that wall. You got a nice break. I mean, it's just, I think it's remarkable. It's you know, people always compare Glock triggers to 1911 triggers, and that seems like what they're always trying to get after. Can I get like a single action type trigger from my my polymer gun, my Glock gun? And you know, this is not that. It's a nice clean break, but you know, a Glock trigger is a Glock trigger, and we're trying to enhance that. And so I think we do ourselves a disservice when we're trying to make it like something else, and we do ourselves a greater service when we try to enhance what it is, and that's what's been done here, I think. But that being said, if you're comparing it to a nice trigger like a 1911 trigger, this gets far closer than most Glock triggers that are out there. Now, there are some really good ones out there. I like the Zev triggers pretty well, and we could make a list. But for the most part, here's what I'll say: I've tried a lot of different triggers, but what I end up doing when it comes to cost over what you get for it, I end up, for the most part, going back to a ghost connector and a little bit of polishing, and I leave it alone. And I have a Glock 19 in the stable that is like that, and I've been comparing it right next to this, and this is significant. It's an upgrade for sure. Is it something that you have to have in your Glock? No. Something that you probably want to have in your Glock? Yeah, probably. I mean, I think you're probably going to like it enough to want it. You know, this is riding in the gun that I normally shoot, and my wife has a 19 as well. I have a distinct feeling that she's going to want one of these in her gun as well. And if, you know, so if I don't want her to steal mine, I'm probably going to have to get her one of her own. we'll see. We'll see how that all shakes out. But anyway, great trigger. I'm continuing to review it. I'll let you know when the Arms Guide article releases. I'll let you guys know. But I've shot several hundred rounds through it now, and I'm just really impressed with this trigger. It's really cool. So good on you, Damon, and the team over at SSVI. Good stuff, man. Really good stuff. All right. This is Rev, as always, reminding you, don't waste your life.